Hi everybody, this is Ellen. In this video I'm going to do an unboxing review kind of tutorial of the Hair Loom Studio by Rainbow Loom. This will be available at stores like Michael's and on rainbowloom.com in May at some point. It's under $10. This is basically a cute way to get the wrapped hair bands in your hair. So I figured out how to do that with a couple little tools here, so it's awesome. This was sent to me by Rainbow Loom. They haven't paid me for my opinion in any way. They just sent it to me to check it out. I have actually seen it before when I went to New York for the toy fair. It was there. They were putting it in people's hair, and I got to play with it some then, so I have a couple tricks for it that we kind of learned there. So this includes Finger Loom, large guide tube, small guide tube, one guide tip, plastic bead needle, a hook, 600 silicone rubber bands, 40 beads, and an instruction manual. So that's the back side. So we'll take a look. Get it open. So here we have large guide tube, small guide tube, and the tubes themselves, they have a little lip on the end. I'll show you what that is for later. Then we have the hook, beading needle, here's the guide tip, finger loom, here's the beads, nice and pretty. We have our silicone bands, nice colors, and our instruction manual, secret code. Here are the instructions for it. Shows you how to start off using the little tubes, how to continue on, how to close it off, and then how to put it into your hair. And then talks about the guide tip, the adding beads to your designs. So we'll take a look at these, make something. We have the bands. So of course they're silicone bands, so latex free. Like I said, nice pretty colors. So lotion is helpful, or conditioner to use. I'm just going to make a small one. So you want the guide tip that you're going to use, finger loom, and your bands. And then if you take a little bit of lotion or conditioner, either or, your hands, and I'm just going to put it onto the guide tube. This makes it so that the bands will slide nicer, they'll go in your hair nicer. They're not super sticky bands anyways, but it just helps to slide them. Lotion helps to slide them down. And like when you're taking this out of your hair, it's really helpful to do it in like the shower. Put conditioner in your hair and they'll slide right out. So we have this finger loom. So what we're going to do first, you decide on your design, and we're going to start by taking a band and going across the middle. My hands are slippery now. And then we take the guide tube, I'll put it up through the middle, and I basically just want to get on one side of the rubber band, like that. And I'll twist it so that little tip is towards the other side. I'll hook that band over there, and then I can just kind of twist it around until the band goes to the other side, so it looks like this when you have the next step done. You can do it with your fingers too. It's just a little tricky because the bands will want to pop off the finger loom while you're doing it, but I'll show that to you again real quick. Just want to get onto one side of the rubber band, then get that little lip on the straw hooked on the other side, and then twist until it's in the center like that. So now it's just a matter of putting your bands across for your design, and they go over the whole tube and everything. So I'll put one on, and then I'll take the bottom one, flip it over, push my bands down, and then just keep doing it for as long as you want. And this is just one of the ways to get these on to the tips, or to the straws rather. Because you can do lots of different ways, and I'll show you another one here in a minute. I want to make this one long enough to we can actually see it. But it's also this way of doing it, since it's on the finger loom, I think it would be easier for little kids to do it, or younger kids, because you don't have the hook, and doing this particular pattern is pretty repetitive, so once you get them started, they should be able to kind of go on their own. Just keep going to push the design down the tube as you go, if you need to. Alright. It's not super long, but it'll work. So you can keep going until you fill this whole tube, and you can get it all scrunched up on there. Make it as long as you want, or as long as you need. The short tubes would be good for shorter hair and shorter designs, and then the long tubes would be good for longer hair. So once you're at this point and you're like, okay, that's it, I'm done, what I'm going to do is take one side, I'm going to take it and flip it up over the tube, and then I'll take the other side and do the same thing over the tube. So now this will come out and you have it on your tube. So I have our design, and this is where you can kind of, like, I can straighten this out so it has a little nice line. I can make it twisty. You can do all kinds of little things right at this point. And what I'm going to do is take my hook and I'll stick it up through the center of my tube. Need some room here. Say hello to Dolly. I know this is not an American Girl doll, only because my daughter's 2 and she doesn't need anything super fancy. But what we do is you find a chunk of hair that you want to use, and this design right here, it'll be fairly tight on the hair, so you don't need a huge chunk, but if you're doing some of the other things that I show you, you might need a larger chunk to put it on. So once you have it through, I'm just going to hook the hair, and then I'll pull the hair down through the tube until it comes out the end. And here's where you can kind of position it how you want, and then you'll start to slide your design onto the hair. Like that. I probably could have used more hair, but then you have a nice little wrapped hair. Super cute. And one of the last ways here that I'll show you in this tutorial anyways is you can use existing designs that you have and put those in here as well. So these pieces that I have, a couple flowers that I've made in the past, my unicorn poop cookies, a little turtle, big turtle, star, butterfly, hearts. I mean, anything that you can imagine you could actually put into the hair. I mean, it's really up to you. So you can take like the flower, and what we do is you take the guide tip and either the short or the long tube, whichever one you want. You can line up. There's a little notch on there with a little notch on your tube. Line those up. So it's like that. Then you take this and you'll weave it through part of your design on like the back side. bring it down. And then once you have it on there, I mean, that was pretty simple, but I mean, you could do some pretty, you know, right up the whole back side there, or just kind of depends on how you want it to be on. Then you'll remove the guide tip. Take our hair again. And our hook up through the center. Grab some hair. Drop my hook on the floor. Put it back in. Hook our hair. Slide it in through the tube. And then slide off your design onto the hair. So you can have a nice flower in your hair. Pretty simply. Awesome. And then I guess I do have one more thing to show, which is the beads and how to do the beading needle. Pretty beads. How do I open you? No, want to open. Okay, well. Beads. So what you do is a lot of times when you end these, maybe you want to put a little bead on the end just for a little bit of a fanciness effect. So you'll take your hook, put it through your beading needle, and you'll grab that hair again and pull it through. And now I can slide the beads onto the hair if I don't have too much here. I have too much hair for this. Too much hair. So you make it awesomer by grabbing less hair. Putting your bead on like that. Grab the other side. Through another bead. Oh, this works out well. Sweet pink and purple bead. Slide that on. Then you can just use a regular rubber band to tie it off. So like that. Super cute. So, what do I think about the Hair Loom Studio? I think that it's a very cute way to get things into the hair that you've designed. There's so many different possibilities. I imagine myself walking around with all of my happy food stuck in my hair. I have to see if I can make that happen or not. But I mean, there's so many different pretty ways on how to do this. I know that if I did any of these in my hair, I'd probably take, like, where I normally part my hair, I'd probably take an inch of hair, flip that over, and then I'd start putting them underneath right here. So that way when my hair flips back, I don't have, like, the top showing. So many different ways to do this. Super cute. You could do so many different styles with your hair, and then you incorporate these into that. So, alright. So what do I think of this? I think that it's a cute idea. It definitely makes things easier to get into your hair for making the designs. It's not super expensive by any means. A lot of us already know how to use the Finger Loom. It's fairly easy. But then you can kind of, like I said, use the Rainbow Loom itself and get some more advanced designs in the hair. You can definitely do some cute things with it. So oh, I guess it's up to you on what you think, if it's something that you would enjoy doing or not. But I think it's worth a try for sure. Pretty. But I want to thank you for watching. I hope that this was informative for you to give you an idea of what's in there and how to use it. Like I said, there is a double Hair Loom Studio. With that one, I will most likely just go through what's in it and kind of give you the heads up to head over to this video for the information, how to do some of the hairstyles and things. So, but thank you very much for watching. I definitely appreciate it, and I will have more things for you soon. So thanks for watching.